active sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Cancerians, is Justice, and it's number 8. Now, Justice is a major arcana, of course. It has the energy of the sign of Libra, 7th house energy, and it's in the upright. So let's break it down for you here, Cancerians. You're the 4th house collective energy. Here, if you see in the picture, there are scales, right, on both the sides of this triangle or this pyramid or this diamond shape. And both of them have a cup that's sitting on it that's perfectly leveled, perfectly balanced, right? And the picture, if you see, it looks like the eyes have been covered for the bigger face, but for the smaller face, which is in the center, there are eyes. So there are eyes. Traditionally, justice is shown like, blindfolded, but here there are eyes. So here in the picture, there are eyes versus the traditional justice, which is known to be blindfolded. Lot of white purity, fairness already, because white is like, pure and unbiased. And and then there is this diamond triangle, which is, it's like sharpness, I mean, I would say more than sharpness, it would be preciseness, being very precise. So I feel that in the next few days, or even now, Cancerians, there is something that you are going to take a closer look at. It's the energy of, accountability. It's an energy of assessing things, of being very honest. There is a lot of purity and honesty that's coming through this energy. Don't get distracted. Don't cover up, because, you're a cardinal water sign. There is a lot of water energy, softness, depth of emotions. So without getting lost in those emotions, without letting your emotions get the better of you, without distorting the facts, because water will soften the edges, water will soften the narratives. So without distorting situations or data or facts or what the situation was, you will need to see things for what they truly are. That's why honesty is needed. So I feel that whatever situation that you might be dealing with right now, Cancerians, I feel you will be coming to a conclusion or trying to figure out like what exactly is the fair thing to do, or the fair route, or what exactly is going to be fair for you and the other person or people. And I feel that, because you're a water sign, you feel very strongly. There is a lot of emotional depth to the water energy, and I feel that what you feel will become kind of the precursor to the assessment, in the sense that consider your feelings like, this is how I felt, this is how I feel it should be. All of that should be taken into consideration. All of that should be factored in. But at the same time, you need to be very honest, like, what role did I play? What was my part in it? And what was the other party's part or other person's part? So there needs to be a level of righteousness, integrity, and, coming from a space of genuinely assessing the situation for what it is, not being biased, not coming from a place of what would be easy or what would be convenient or what would be comfortable. No, you will have to set aside those things. Be very rational at the same time. So maybe, and also because Jupiter is in your sign, so I feel that the emotions will feel a little more amplified. So if something went wrong, if something you feel that was not right, it was not just, that feeling might feel very strong, that it might come across as very strongly, like you feel deeply hurt or deeply betrayed or deeply unjust, even though the situation might not have been that biased or that unjust or that difficult, or rather than you have made it to look or feel. Because when it comes to justice, this is, if you have read my mythology or by any chance, if you know about the goddess Ma'at, that's the energy I'm picking up here, Then it comes to scales. Ma'at took the scales and she put a feather in one scale and a heart on another scale. So she was trying to say, like, how can the heart be as light as the feather? But the whole point of the energy of Goddess Ma'at is to remove all those heady emotions from your heart, that it feels light like a feather. So in the sense that remove any regrets, any emotions that cause your heart to feel heavier. Anything you feel sad about, angry about, negative about, or, you feel like, oh, somebody ruffled my feathers, all of those negative emotions, if you take that out, put it aside, your heart will feel light like the feather. So I do feel that, once you assess your situation and, assessing your situation, and when we come to a conclusion, right? See, there are two things which are very important when it comes to the justice. One is the data that we use to come to a conclusion. The data in terms of what we saw, what we felt, what we understood, what the other person or people said, did, understood, came from, all of those things need to be factored in. That's one thing that goes in with the justice. And second is, what is the outcome of that assessment? So there are two very important factors when it comes to the energy of justice. And for you Cancerians, this next few days, both of them are going to be very, very important. Like, yeah, what is the outcome of it is definitely important. What conclusion you come to is definitely important. But how you came to that conclusion is going to be equally important. So what is the data that you used to analyze the situation? Is it just your emotions, or did you even look at the ground reality? Did you use your head equally, or did you just use your heart? Did you just use the negative emotions, or did you actually, see where and why those negative emotions got to you in the first place, where they came from, what's the origin, what was the cause of it? Did you factor all those things in or not? Is going to be equally important. So I feel that this is a good time, and things might feel uncomfortable. When it comes to accountability and acknowledgement of our own role and our contributions to this injustice or this dynamic, it feels uncomfortable to look at it. It's easy to blame it on other people, but when it comes to us, we kind of ignore things, or we fail to recognize our part in all of that because it feels uncomfortable. But I feel that you definitely need to be very honest with it, because sometimes we want a specific thing so bad that we forget to weigh it out, like what is really right versus what we really want, you know? So, like for example, if you're participating in a race, and you worked very hard, and you came to, like, maybe you got the third position instead of the first or second, and you wanted to be the first position. You are the first position in the race. So, I mean, and what you do is, you kind of, or let me say, race is not the right example, or let's say you're playing like basketball, and then the other team wins, and, you feel that, oh, the referee, well, was unfair, or this person snatched away the ball, or something, something wrong happened, or, my team player pushed me, my team player, didn't warn me or did not signal to me, and something like that, and that's why I lost. But it's like an honest assessment, like, really, is that the reason why you lost? So those kind of fair assessments is something that you will be doing in the next few days. For some of you, this could be a family issue where you're trying to figure out, like, the unfairness, where it's coming from. Maybe it's within your family. Maybe it's in regards to investments or inheritances. This could be at your workplace. Of late, there have been community, conversations in all industries in regards to equal pay. So for some of you, you could be standing up for some of those causes, like, equal pay and, fairness at workplace or something like that. For some of you, you actually could be the activist, and you could be standing up for yourself or other people when you see some kind of unfairness play out. But in general, I feel that this will be a good week, because you will figure out the right answer. You will figure out what really went wrong, whose real contribution was to, make it seem like it was unfair. And if you feel that you are the one who has done the wrong, then it's also a good, way to apologize in order to balance the scales. If you feel that you were the one who did wrong, it could go either ways. Either you were the one who was wronged, or you wronged someone. So whatever be the case, I feel that the assessment that you get into, in the next few weeks or days, will give you the right answer, the exact clarity of what exactly happened. And for some of you, I'm going to warn that it might feel a little uncomfortable acknowledging the truth. But if you do so, it will make you feel really light. So I feel that this is a good time, good energy for resolutions, for, being fair and square with one and all, and even with yourself, and being really honest with the assessment and with the delivery of the final outcome. And I feel that if you, show high integrity, if you live by your principles and values, situations will actually get resolved in a very good way. So I do feel there might be a talk or a discussion or a conversation around it, and things will find their resolution. Now, I also feel that there is a lot of protection energy with this Justice card, because the protection energy will come from being honest. Once you will be honest to the core, then you're gonna stick by it. It's gonna change quite a few things in you and the other people in the situation. And you will be able to balance out or stabilize the situation. Now, for some of you, if this is in regards to your career or your jobs, again, you're going to do a lot of analysis to see what is fair, what is fair according to my, you know, my resume, my qualifications, what is the fair pay that I should be receiving and deserving. You could be choosing companies based on the offers that they're extending to you. For some of you, this could be the investments that you are making, personally in your personal life, whether it's manager investment, portfolio investments. But I feel that you are in some way aligning with, things that are fair and square and just and honest and things like that. Because I do feel, Cancerians, that you've been through something rough, in the past, maybe past few weeks. And, you've quite a bit been in the dark, like not knowing what to do. So I feel that situation is going to come to an end with this justice card, making sure that, and this justice is not the cold justice, that we often speak about. Especially, like, we say, oh, the justice is best when served cold. No, this is the justice that, the final outcome of it is something that you have felt through it. So, and once you do that, I feel that that's when the real balance will be restored. So, be mindful of how you do the assessments. That's all I mean. Don't come from a space of like, yeah, I need, don't let any emotions like, oh, this is going to be difficult, or this is going to be, it's going to be some nice. If the other person gets this justice and gets this wrong done, and, gets wronged on them or something like that, don't come from that place. The next card you have, Cancerians, is the Temple. And this is number 39. So 3, 9 are coming through strong with this energy. Also, 3 and 9 will reduce to a 12, which reduces to a 3 again. So 3 is very strong with this energy for you, Cancerians. So I feel that, if you look at the picture, there's a triangle within which there is folded hands. There's a lot of green and a lot of leaves and golden colors, and folded hands pointing upwards. So there is a little bit of a growth, fertility, energy over here. I feel that, Cancerians, this is about, the temple. A temple can be any sacred space that you create, or a sacred practice that you have, which you practice on a daily basis. This is also like being devoted to a certain practice, whether it is, and when we see connecting to the divine, it could be the higher powers, the universe, nature, something which is, unseen, something which is larger than just the material world, something which is, the unknown forces, the angels that are at work, things that we cannot see, forces that we cannot see. When we devote ourselves to that, when we pray, when we connect with those forces, with those practices, whether it's lighting a candle at the altar, or whether it's creating a secret space, a Zen space where you meditate, or where you, have a practice of gratitude, where you understand the greater cosmic, the cosmic makeup and things that happen behind the scenes for us. I feel that's what this refers to. It's not about a certain faith. It's just about, maybe like creating a sanctuary or being fully immersed and devoted to a certain practice. Now, devotion can come either to divine spirituality. It can also be a devotion to, family. It could be devotion to cooking. It could be devotion to anything, a practice, a craft like painting. Some people will devote themselves to painting. Some people devote themselves to writing, to helping humanity, to volunteering, to creating safe spaces. There is a certain kind of a sacredness to that devotion as well. Like the chefs, they're fully immersed in it. And the only thing they have in mind is that I want to devote myself to this craft of cooking so that I create these culinary delights that I can serve to people, serve to humanity. And when we feed people with all our heart and soul, the food that is made with all the heart and soul, with the right ingredients, with the right intentions, with the right ingredients, and raw materials, it actually, it brings so much more fulfillment to people, The food. A food business is something which is so fulfilling, and the tastes and flavors and how people savor it. And, when it touches the soul of another person, when we do it through our cooking, that's also an act of devotion. That's also a practice of devotion, I would say. So some of you are fully immersed in something that brings happiness, peace, sanctity, and sanctuary to other people through a certain craft, and you're fully immersed and devoted in it. For some of you, this could be a sacred practice. You're probably getting into spirituality, you're learning more about your faith, or you're creating sanctuaries or secret spaces, or traveling and visiting sacred spaces, or creating a certain kind of a ritual or a daily practice, like 5 minutes of intense devotion, of intense gratitude, or thinking, or chanting, or humming, or listening to some sacred, books or chants, or something like that. For some of you, it could be that. For others, if you see, even music is a kind of devotion. The rhythms, the songs, the instruments, the music, the soulful music that's created is clearly evident. It speaks to the devotion of the musicians, the people who practice those instruments day in and day out to create the kind of music that touches our heart and soul. Music, they say, is the biggest therapy, especially for patients that are recovering, and even on a daily basis. There is so many kinds of music, and it touches our heart and soul. It tells us so much. It, helps us so much. It's very therapeutic to people. It's used by a lot of, massage and therapy practitioners, and when people just sit there with their eyes closed and they listen to that music, it just releases the tension and the stress out of it, which, which elevates people, which elevates their frequencies, their heart and soul. And that's also a kind of devotion. Now, for some of you, you could be into therapies that is actually, helping people elevate, to connect more to themselves, to heal them, through whether it's through massage, or whether it's through soulful healing and Reiki and meditation practices. For some of you, it could be that as well. But whatever this is, the temple energy is, wherever your devotion is, that's going to bring in so much blessings. That's going to bring in so much growth. There's growth wherever you devote yourself to. So if you're devoting yourself to your family, there is growth in that. If you are devoting yourself to creating food and serving the community through that craft of creating food and serving food, then there is growth you will experience through that, whether it's serving more people, or if you open a restaurant, maybe the money comes in, something like that. Or if you're creating music, then it becomes popular, or it gets sold and you get money out of it. But the key thing is the devotion. Something which you do with the divine in mind, like I am devoting myself. I have my soul. This is my soul path, and I'm devoting myself to my soul path, fully immersed in this experience. People lose track of time when they experience this kind of devotion. Some of you, it's sacred devotion. Some of you are devoted to, spiritual music, spiritual healing modalities, whatever that is. It could be your kitchen where you're cooking for the family or for the community, where you're feeding people. So all of these are services that are beyond us. These are not self-centered practices or intentions. This is an intention to feed the community, to feed the family, to feed people that are outside of us. Now, but that's not all. I mean, the temple also, for some of you, it could be in practices that feed the community and the soul of people and all of that. But for others, this is like creating a sacred practice for yourself, so that you feel grounded, so that you feel connected to your angels, to the higher sources, to nature. Maybe you're walking, spending time in nature. Maybe you're having meditation practices. Whatever this is, when you meditate, we de-stress, we detoxify, and that also heals us, and it leads eventually to a lot of growth, self-growth, meditation growth, spiritual growth, physical growth, emotional growth. So there is growth in every way, in every area where we bring in devotion. So now for some of you, this could be also about creating a sacred space for other people, like maybe your house, where people can come in, lean in on you, get some advice, feel at home, feel a certain safe sanctuary, because Cancerians, you are the water sign. You're very empathic, you're very compassionate. Your presence, your words, just your presence, your touch also is very therapeutic, the fact that you're hearing people also helps them enormously. So for some of you, this could be that you are creating that sanctuary inside of your house where people can get supported and feel supported. Maybe you are opening your home to people where they can come in, they can stay with you, or they can come, you can meditate together. For some of you, it's opening your home to other people. For some of you, this could be that you are constructing some kind of a sacred space or meditative practice space, maybe like a spa or a therapy center or something like that, or maybe you're reconstructing it. Maybe you just got a site where you can construct it, or you're rebuilding or building in some way. Maybe you're creating that. But yeah, this is like, participating in activities, things, and practices that will connect you to the higher self, to the larger cosmos, to the larger universe, to nature, to something sacred, to something holy, to something big, community and all of that. So I do feel that some of you might be creating the space inside of your house with the aesthetics, like, even to meditate, you need a certain kind of a Zen space, like, a good light or plants, or, where me to play the music. The music needs to have that right acoustics and all of that. So for some of you, or have the right incenses or the waterfalls, or, cushions, the meditative pillows, and you're creating some kind of a secret, beautiful sanctuary or a room or a space inside of your house where everybody can just come, unwind, feel relaxed, feel at ease, detoxify, de-stress. So you might be designing that. Some of you could be designing it inside of your house, or you could be designing it in the wild, maybe in real temples or real sacred places, or in other people's house, where they feel that a corner is Zen, where they can sit, meditate, and connect with the higher principles. Now, for some of you, this could be that you're immersing yourself in your work, which is dedicated to community. Like maybe there is something that, you want to create a new a service that will help the elderly or will help the community in some way. So you're immersed in that experience. Maybe you're doing something for the kids. You're creating a space, maybe a daycare or something like that, where you can actually, or maybe you're working in hospitals, where you are serving the community, Just for some of you, you could be immersed in those kind of professions as well, creating it or from ground up, or coming up with new ideas that will help the community, heal the community. For some of you, you could be in the construction of such institutions that benefit the society. That's the need of the heart, that where people feel safe, cared for, catered to, where they learn, they grow, they learn something. It's like something that will increase the vibration of the community or of people or of yourself or your family. Some elevation case where people will elevate, by being a part of that. And I feel that whatever way you are a part of service or a part of this temple, the energy that we already spoke about, I feel that this is going to grow. There's a lot of growth that you will see in that area, especially when it is a profession or a sanctuary or something, a practice that you are creating for elevating the community as a service, for elevating healing or, for the betterment of the community in any way, shape, or form. Because that's a sacred practice, to elevate the vibration of community is a sacred practice. So much you could be immersed in that experience or fighting for it, and things like that, because you have the justice. So some of you could be activists and fighting for the rights of the people that have been wronged in some way. So you could be into that as well. And the last card for today, Cancerians, you have is a message from Cosmos. And it says, welcoming happiness. Further, it says, divine love is manifesting in me, through me, and around me. It attracts all that I need for the benefit of my soul. As I work to increase my inner light, I evolve into an emanation of love and joy. Today, I recap and welcome the happiness and beauty of all that I have sown. Yeah, so you have been devoting your time, or you will be, and you will see how much happiness it brings to you. So you will feel that you are receiving the blessings of the divine, especially when we, invest into philanthropy or community or service or selfless service or volunteering or feeding or, therapy or healing, whatever that is, we can feel that from the thanks that we receive, the compliments that we receive, the blessings that we receive from people. We feel the presence of divine around us. And that elevates us, that heals us, that connects us to the source that brought us here in the first place, and that raises our vibrations, that gives us hope, that spreads, as it spreads, that goodness spreads, it's contagious, it spreads in the community. Someone else, when you do good to someone, they will step up, they will draw inspiration from this, and they will serve the community in some way. So it's like a ripple effect that is created due to this inner light that you bring outside in the external world. And that will bring so much joy, not only to you to see things, people feeling better, blessing you, people feeling happy, people at ease, at peace. It brings a lot of joy, to our heart and soul, especially for Cancerians that are so connected with their emotional heart and space. So it brings a lot of joy. When we see people thanking us and, praising us for the goodness that we bring about and spread and the time we take to do that. So it just, that feeling is, cannot be comprehended in words. It's amazing. So I feel that you are ready to welcome that happiness and the beauty of all that I have sown. So you're going to see growth, fertility. You already saw that with the temple card. It's going to create a lot of beauty in the world, in your own life, in your house, in your neighborhood, in the area around you, in your own heart and soul. And it's because of these seeds that you have sown of, daily practice, devotion, and higher service. So great messages here, Cancerians. Hope you enjoyed them. So the first card you have for today, Scorpio, is the 9 of Wands, and it's in the reverse for you. So you are the fixed water energy, and Wands is fire energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are the fire elements. Now, 9 of Wands in the reverse, the energy of the 9 of Wands is typically that of the moon that is transiting the 9th house of Sagittarius. That's the energy of the 9 of Wands. And Sagittarius is your neighboring house, Scorpio. Now, Mars is your ruler. Pluto was your original ruler or co-ruler. I feel that this Nine of Wands is, in the upright, it's like a very defensive pose because you're guarding yourself, you're protecting yourself. It's a defense mechanism, the Nine of Wands. And it takes a lot of energy to actually, put on your guard, whether it's, whether it's, guarding yourself, like, I don't know, if it's guarding your house or guarding your heart or guarding a territory or something, it takes a lot of energy. It's energy consuming. And there was a reason why you were being guarded, because you were protecting either yourself, your family, your stance, your possession, your job, your business, your city, your country, whatever that was that you were protecting, because you saw a high level of threat, something that was disorientating, something that was not healthy, something that was, a threat, and you were protecting. You were standing up against that threat. So it takes a lot of energy to be on high alert all the time, to be vigilant all the time, to scan for data, information, to be wary of people, if they're your enemies, your friends, or here for a reason, or they're approaching you because they want something, and things like that, happen when we have been hurt, when we have been bruised, when we've gone through it. The reason for which these defenses and guards are up, it was necessary at that point in time. But what happens over a period of time, and we constantly, are used to or get in the habit of keeping these defenses up, it becomes a habit. Because we're constantly feeling, we constantly remember that emotional turmoil, that emotion. Like I said, this energy is that of the moon transiting through Sagittarius. So it's the emotional memory of that negative experience, of that hard experience, of the threat, of what you felt in that moment, of threat. That memory stays on for long. It takes a while to release that. It's not like a hard reset, because that memory goes down to our nervous system, and calming the nerves, releasing that pain, that hurt, that memory takes a while to ease up, to leave our mind, to leave our heart. Those memories take a long time. So I do feel that in the next few days, or you're already starting to feel these dreams, that you'll start to feel lighter, because that memory is washing away. But the only caveat with this energy is when when your defenses come down, when that high alert energy is released. You still need to remember what caused you to be on defense in the first place. So that incident needs to be, is a source of some kind of a lesson for you. So don't forget that lesson is the message here. So release your defense, which I feel you already are. And, because this Nine of Wands is like, it's like you really protecting yourself or your position or the data or whatever you were protecting, whatever you were standing up for or defending. You need to recognize that, that you're capable of that, like what you've been through. You need to honor how strong you've come out on the other side of it. So whether this is, this could be in any area of your life. Some of you, this could be legal as well, like you were trapped in some kind of a legal situation at work or in courts or with the law enforcement or something like that. Maybe you had to produce a lot of documents, go back and forth. That could be the case for some of you. For others of you, this could be that you are defending your stance at work. Like, maybe you're defending your project or your process or the funds or your team, something like that. Maybe, there was a lot of layoffs and you were trying to protect your team yourself. And that took a lot of energy out of you. But now that, the number of layoffs that they had planned is all gone, now you can relax. For some of you, it could be that as well. For others of you, it could be protection, or whether you're protecting yourself, your family, through protection systems, camera systems, gated communities, or putting gates or locks or monitoring systems, whether of your business, your store, or your house, your property, or this could be protection of your assets, or you have bought some insurances to protect yourself, or your life insurance is to protect it, or health insurance is to protect your health. This could be that you were protecting younger ones, or you could be in the law enforcement, you were protecting city people, communities from threats. There's all sorts of things that go on in the world, threats from, unknown sources. It could be cyber as well. For some of you, cyber crime, protecting data, information from cyber crimes, or protecting people from cyber crimes could be at the forefront with you. For some of you, this could be theft, people stealing. You could be on watch because of those kind of situations. Some kind of crime happened around in your city or in your place or in your neighborhood, and you're watchful of that. So it could be, this defense mechanism could have been triggered for a lot of other reasons. Maybe you're looking after somebody who was sick, and they needed protection, or you needed to be constantly on alert to see how they're doing, their vitals, checking, monitoring, having doctors, nurses on standby, and, medicines and all of that. For some of you, it could be that kind of a situation, but it was a difficult situation. It felt like a battle. Sorry about that noise, Scorpio. Right. So I do feel that, you will be able to feel at ease because now, it's like, whatever you were scared about, you're able to, maybe you were not even talking about it. Maybe you were not communicating that you were scared, on high guard, on defense. And now maybe you're feeling open enough to talk about it. That could be for some of you. But I feel that you feel like, you can let your guard down. The pain you feel is easing away, is washing away. You feel more lighter, you feel more calmer, more relaxed. You can focus better because now that energy that you used up for defending yourself, now you have that available. So you can invest into other things. You feel more freer, maybe to move around or to invest into other things. It's like a sigh of relief is coming to you. And I also feel that, now that things are clearing up, you feel like, yeah, people are supporting you, they're understanding you. And, yeah, of course, that situation might have been scary for you. It was it probably raised your guards for a reason, and you probably learned something out of it. That was the purpose of that situation being sent to you. It's for your growth, it's for you to learn something. And I feel that you probably took away a thing or two from that situation. So, yeah, I do feel that, now you sense that you're more relaxed, more calm. It frees up your time, your energy, your mental space. And you feel much better and lighter. So you will have your energy levels come up. The only thing is that, make sure that the energy which is now freed up, which is now released, is being used in the most rightful way, Yeah, so I do feel that your hypervigilance that you were in the state of hypervigilance, high alert, defense and all of that is now going to go away. I'm picking up an energy of the hurt locker, So for some of you, the Heart movie could have some significance. Maybe there is a message in that movie for you, but I'm picking up the hurt locker. I also feel that some of you are now kind of getting back to normal. Maybe you had your phone on high alert. Maybe you had your security systems on high alert. Maybe you were watchful of every message, every email, every text, every knock. You kind of monitoring everything. I feel that now it's going away. For some of you, this could be a defense against, maybe your house, you were like protective of your house. You didn't want people to come in. You were worried. What would they, I don't know. what the reason of your worry is, or, so maybe you were kind of restricting entry to your house or into your office or into your business or into your personal space in some way. I feel that is now going away, and you're more welcoming of people. You're more relaxed, when to messages, and you're not on high alert that ways. For some of you, this could have been like, some kind of a natural calamity that caused you and your neighborhood to be on high alert. It happens all the time. When there's a flood, there's a fire, there is an earthquake, there's some kind of a warning system that goes off, and, everybody's put on high alert for a few days until the threat has gone away. Could be from a natural calamity as well, maybe there was a warning or something like that, and that has gone away. For some of you, this could be at your workplace. Maybe you could be working for a company that actually protects, borders, people, maybe security cameras, maybe you threats, or, just so much that goes on in the country, as a city, as a community, all of those, threats and issues of maybe thefts or, robberies or something like that going on, So some of you could be actually in institutions that help people feel safe, building systems to protect people or to increase safety or something like that. But in general, that whole energy of being on high alert is coming down. And I feel that you will feel it, that, out of habit, that you are kind of doing things to protect yourself. You feel that you're ready to release that. It could be like maybe when somebody says, it's also in a general day today, when people say something about us or our project or our business or something, we kind of get defensive. We kind of immediately answer back, reply back. I feel that now you're calming down. You're like, I shouldn't immediately, impulsively reply to people. Why do I feel that they're always trying to attack me by words or by their actions or by their gestures? So maybe out of habit you are doing it, and I feel that you recognize that habit and you let that habit go. And it's normal, when we survive difficult situations, when we've been through those difficult situations, it happens. It's a natural body defense, which I feel that now is easing up for you. The next card you have, Scorpio, is the riddle. And this is number 53. So it boils down to an 8. Now, 8 in the tarot is a strength card. So this energy might have something to do with staying strong in a situation. Let's break it down. Let's take a look at the picture. There is a knot out here. Looks like a serpent knot. This is called a triquetra knot. For those of you that are not familiar, we were taught that in the Scouts camp about the different kind of knots, and this is a triquetra knot. Now, if you look at the picture, there is an eye which is in the center. There are stars, different kind of stars in each loop. And then there is an eye in the center, right? So seeing from within is the energy that I'm picking up from this. I feel that, and if you see, there are hands, right? There are hands on the 3 sides of this so-called triangulish knot. There are 3 hands in different postures. I mean, there are 4 hands actually. 2 are single, and the 2 hands below are just, they're clutching each other. The hands are clutching each other on the 3rd knot. So this is an energy of reaching out, of kind of reaching out, maybe to resolve this knot or this riddle. So this looks like a complicated situation. It's like a riddle, like in general, when we listen to riddles, they are easy to crack. And this looks like a complicated riddle, it's like when we have those knots and we're trying to resolve, like, how do we open up a knot? So you might be in that situation where you are trying to figure out the answer to this knot or this problem, or it might be a really complex or difficult situation or complex situation to resolve. But I feel that this energy is telling you, Scorpio, to be a part of that situation, to be able to find the answer. Like, it's like, when we have those riddles where the question itself is the answer, or the answer is in the question itself. It's like, when we were younger, we used to ask this question, like, what was the name of the person who knocked the door? So, what was the name? The name was what? W-E-T-T. But then we thought it was like a question. But the answer was there. So what was the name of the person knocking the door? So the answer is what? The name of the person was what? W-A-T-T. So it's that kind of a situation where this problem, there is a solution in the problem. There is the question that you're asking as being part of the situation is the answer itself that I'm picking up, Scorpio. Because I feel that, with the I inside, it's like you have to be a part of something to understand what's going on, to solve this riddle. You have to be a part of it. It's not an external, it cannot be solved by an external. Like, for example, if somebody showed a time E mountain, and if you tell them, oh, you know what? Watch out for this, watch out for that. And, when you're actually climbing, you know that it's not possible to, because there's so many things that are running in your mind, it's not possible to watch out for each and everything. Some things just happen, some things catch you by surprise. When you're in the thick of it, when you are in that situation, the theoretical things don't really apply. That's what this is. Like, you cannot solve it by just theoretical means or on the outside, or if you're suggesting somebody, like, how can you teach a person to cut theoretically, when you say, yeah, cut the vegetables, but then when you use the knife, it could cut your finger. The vegetable or the thing that you are trying to cut could slide, could fly, anything could happen, And we cannot predict what's going to happen. We cannot provide a theoretical explanation for what's going on from the outside. You have to be actually cutting that piece of vegetable or that fruit to understand the complexities of it. So only when you've been in that situation is when you can figure it out. And I feel that's what this energy is about. And I feel that the answer is there because there are stars. Stars are shining. It's just that, I feel that when, the hands are there, the hands are reaching out. They're trying to solve this knot, this complex knot or this problem. They're trying to solve it, It's like you reach out and you try to open the knot, right, with your hands. It's that kind of an energy. So, and I feel these hands are like trying to solve the problem. Like, okay, maybe I should try this, maybe this perspective, maybe that solution, this, that, and the third. And you're trying to work it out, but it's not working. So what you need to do is just, sometimes when the thread is so tightly woven, when you kind of just, kind of just loosen it by rubbing it, in between your fingers, you release that level of tension at the threads, right? You release it. And then you can pick up on one thread and you can try to untangle or solve that knot, right? Open that knot. You kind of rub it. You hold that knot in between your thumb and a finger and you rub it to loosen the grip of the knot. So it's that kind of energy. So you need to release the tension. You need to release the tightness or the grip. So maybe you're trying really hard to work on something, to find a solution, but the answer is in the problem itself. Like, feel it, when you're in the situation, get into the situation, and then you will be able to figure it out. When you release that tension, when you release the grip, that answer will come to you. The knot will open up. But I can't explain it any better than this. It's just that you have to be present in a situation to understand the dynamics, to understand where the tension is, because not everybody will feel that tension, you know. It's like maybe it's a complicated solution, but everybody has their own understanding. Everybody's not empathic. Everybody's not intuitive. But once you're in the situation, you can feel it. You can feel the problem. You can intuitively get the answers without logic, without reasoning, without referring to books, or without external advice and things like that. You know, you can intuitive. You're a water sign. You can feel it. So once you're over there, you're like, okay, I've seen the situation. I've felt through the situation. Nothing that comes from a book or from advice is going to solve it. Once once I stop solving the problem, then the solution will come in. So you have to stop solving it. That's your answer. So stop solving it. The answer will come up. Maybe you're trying too hard to solve it, but you don't need to do that. So I'm picking up energy of the song, you know. It's The Sound of Silence. If you heard that, it's by Simon. So listen to that. You might get the answer right there. But I feel that when you stop trying is when this problem will solve by itself. And it takes strength to be in such a difficult situation. But if you immerse yourself into it with that strength, the problem will resolve on its own. And maybe that's the answer. It's going to be different for each one of you. It's like, you know, for example, you're going to buy a house, you know, and every data you collect for the particular neighborhood, the data, yeah, it helps, but then you cannot feel it until you start living in the neighborhood or you start visiting the neighborhood. It's when you understand what people are talking about, what they really mean. When they're talking about the neighborhood, what does it actually mean? You have to be in that house or in the neighborhood to feel the problem. And then you're like, oh, that's the problem. So what I can do is I can work around it, find another solution so I don't have to chase after fixing the problem in a certain way. You know, so I'm going to put up a fence, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to, you know, whatever, find an alternate. I'm not going to chase that problem. I am going to work around it or find another solution or, you know, something like that. And there are some situations which just require our presence out there to feel it, you know, to find an alternate way of solving it instead of, you know, going upstream to solve it in a certain type of way because, you know, maybe people are telling you or advising you to do this, that, and the third, and you're trying to follow that, and it's an uphill battle. But when you stop all of that, you know, the problem resolves slowly but gradually. But you need to have that strength to be in that situation and to not do anything about it, I feel. And also to keep your sanity, you know, when you're in the thick of it, without being stressed out, without panicking, without being defensive, Yeah, and I feel you cannot be defensive. To be in this situation, you have to release your defenses. We start with that 9 of Wands. So, you know, and the thing about this riddle is, you know, with the 9 of Wands, when you release your defenses, when you have the energy and you're present without being on high guard, that's the state of your mind is needed to solve this problem or this complex situation. Your genuine, unguarded presence is going to be the answer to this situation. The last card you have for today, Scorpio, is a message from Cosmos, and it says trusting. Further, it says, today I trust in God. No matter what happens as my day unfolds, I will remember to remain in harmony. I will maintain my sense of humor, and I will keep my focus on God's love for me. In these ways, I will minimize drama and increase my inner spiritual strength. That's exactly what we've been talking about. You know, the strength which is needed, you know, releasing the 9 of Wands in the reverse, releasing your guards, knowing that the superpowers, the cosmic forces, your angels, God, the higher power that you believe in is protecting you. having that faith that you are being protected at all times will help you stay peaceful and calm, and with your defenses low, will help you stay at peace in harmony. And like we saw, that 9 of Wands in the reverse is your energy coming back, and that energy is available to you to feel light, to be in the moment, to be fully present, to find the humor in things, and to stay focused on things that truly matter. Knowing that God is protecting you and the universe loves you, God loves you, the higher power is working in your favor. So it says, in these ways, I will minimize drama. Yeah, so some kind of a complex situation which is causing stress, some kind of drama, it can be minimized. When you're in the thick of it, you need the spiritual strength to overcome it. And that's exactly, it's like a perfect wrap to your reading here, Scorpio. Those were your messages. Hope you enjoyed them. Now moving on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card you have, Pisces, for today is the 8 of Wands. Now, Wands is a fire energy and fire suit. So Aries, your Sagittarius are the fire elements. But 8 of Wands is the energy of fast movement. If you see here, there are 6 wands that are, actually there are 8 wands that are, that are coming out from a center point. The point is at the horizon where the earth and the sky are meeting. The horizon point, that's where that light is, that circular light. All the wands are coming out from that. But the 2 ones that are on the gray area, it feels like a railway track which is heading towards the horizon. It's like the railway track energy symbolic of the direction. So I feel that you have a direction now. You have fixed a direction or decided upon something, need a decision. The direction is clear for you now. It's like no more second guesses, no more contemplation. You've decided and you've gone. And I feel, from what I recall, I could be wrong though, but I feel like you had a 7 of Cups moment a few days back where you were confused on which way to go, what to choose. And I feel that you also had the Wyvern. No, actually you had the Gryphon, as far as I can recall, that I could be wrong, because I remember saying this to you, Pisces, that if you're discerning with your choices, if you choose the one that absolutely sits right in that situation, and you have to be very careful about choosing the direction. But once you choose the right direction, which aligns with your heart, soul, and mind, that's when the universe will protect your choice and there will be a forward movement. And I feel that you've made the right choice. And the universe is sending you positively good fortune to move things faster in that track, in that direction. And I feel that you have made a good choice and you've been working towards it. You have been aligning yourself. You have been putting in the work. I don't know, maybe you have been working hard towards it, but wherever you have been investing your time and energy, whatever you have been building, doing behind the scenes, is ready for fast movement. I don't know if it's some kind of a project that you've been working on, or some direction that you have picked. It's ready to be out there. It's ready for fast forward movement. So it's like 8 wands. It's like 8 different directions. It's like positive movement from 8 different places, spaces, or 8 different projects or ideas, or I don't know. I hope it's not 8 different ideas, because then a momentum will be scattered. But I feel that these are resources, 8 different resources that are aligning up for you. It's like maybe you sent an email to somebody for approval and nobody got to that email. But now the person checked the email, responded back. So that's probably 1 wand of communication via email. Maybe the second one is you sent out a letter of, to a vendor to supply the resources, and they did not have the supply, but now they got the supply, the raw materials, and they sent back a letter to you or an email, a text that now the resources are available and you can put it into action. So that could be a second channel where you're hearing from. Third could be that your time gets freed up from other activities, so you're able to invest more time into the direction that you chose. So that's the third resource which is available to you. Fourth, you could have a supporting person that comes along. Maybe you're not able to reach out. Maybe you got the funding, or maybe some resource aligned with you. Now you have the support, of friends, family, or resources to move things forward. That could be the fourth channel that opens up for you. Then you have maybe some information that was not available because, or maybe the lack of data. Now you have the accurate data, the understanding, the report, and now you get the clear picture. So that's the fifth resource opening. So in that ways, the direction that you chose because you were meant to align with it, your soul was meant to walk on that path or choose a direction because you aligned yourself with discernment. All the channels are now opening. So I feel like it's the universe which is coming together to support, to create that forward momentum for you. It's like the runway opening. This is because you've been smart about it, because you've been feeling things through, because you have that emotional intelligence to choose the right path, to choose the right direction, because you've engaged your righteous emotions. That's why now this has opened up for you. And I feel that a lot of communication coming through, a lot of back and forth, a lot of talking, support to communication, text, messages, and all of that is also something that will assist you in moving forward. So the direction is clear. Now there is no going back. There is no changing direction. And I feel that you don't even want to course correct it because you know this is the right direction. Now, whether it's any kind of development at work, maybe it's maybe it's development at work or your business, maybe it's political, maybe it's city related, maybe it's a social activist movement that you've been a part of, but something that has been building for way too long now, it's ready to be released, and I feel that people are on the same page. They know where you're going. They understand your point of view. They understand your vision. And, things are just opening up, aligning with you because it's an unstoppable energy out here. So either it's the projects or deals or negotiations or the budgets, funds, the market, the geopolitical situation, resources, whatever this is, the direction is set, it's clear. And after a lot of preparation, there is forward movement, whether it's, in terms of releasing a movie you've been working at, or a magazine, or an art, or an exhibition that has come together, or it's some kind of a business or some kind of a store that you open has, gained momentum. It could be anything. It's going to be different for each one of you. But then it's like fast moving. People are responding faster. You're hearing back faster. Things are tearing up faster. People are understanding your vision. It's the ideas that are flowing to you. It's not like a block. What do I do next? No, things are aligning, and you're excited because things are opening up. There's less resistance. There is less block. So that's keeping you excited. And the good thing is that you know that you're moving in the right direction. So there is less of Seven of Pentacles energy, which is like assessing, am I in the right direction? There's no that. It's like, that it's the right direction and you're just moving forward. So that's the positive thing that will keep you motivated forward. And things will speed up in a way that it will feel like, you don't have to put that much effort, but you're seeing the results. You're seeing forward movement. So it's not, it's like you don't have to work as hard like you have been already because you've been building, you've been working behind the scenes, you have been protecting. So you have been invested, your energy has been invested, you've been working hard. Now things are going to move forward effortlessly for you. The next card you have, Pisces, is the heart. And this is number 31. It reduces to a 4. 4 is a number of stability. Now, if you see in the picture, there is a wreath. It's a beautiful image, It's a very red, like a Valentine's image. There's a red heart with red eyes. With stars and sparkles. And then there is a boat with 2 people. The sky is also, kind of reddish. And then there is this wreath, it's like a nest of wheat and flowers that's holding this image. It's a very beautiful image here, Pisces. I feel that I feel this is you and the person, your companion, your friend, that's in this boat together, in this journey of life. And, there's a lot of love. I feel this reddish, the heart, the eyes, feeling the love, seeing the love for you, seeing the person that for who they are, knowing that this is the person that you love. It's the life journey that you want to be in it together. It's the knowing that you're genuinely loved for who you are. It's not something which is analyzed. It's not something which is, rationalized. It's something which is recognized. It's just a recognition. It's just, it's just the warmth which is felt in the heart. The genuine love, the love that actually sustains life, the love that actually protects us, through ups and downs. And the love, creating the love which is the sanctuary that, that sustains life, that gives us stability, that creates the foundation. I feel that's the energy you are in because the love is real, and I feel that the Eight of Wands movement is fast forward movement. Yeah, I feel you're communicating something, it's like probably you're communicating to the person that you feel genuine love for. It's the love that sustains, because there are two people in the boat. It's not a love that depletes or consumes. It's the love that provides the stability, the love that that supports growth, that supports individuality at the same time. The love that is generous, that is unconditional. It's the warmth of being together. It's and it's the love. If the love is an emotion, and specifically this emotion, this state of being of the heart, mind, and soul, which is stronger than anything else that supports, good health, good mental health, good heart health, good emotional health, good physical health, and it it's something that allows us to feel, to feel soulful. It's that kind of energy. You're feeling connected, you're feeling present, you're feeling in the moment. It's the love that understands without being spoken, where you fill in each other's sentences, where you understand what the other person needs and you get it done even before the other person says it to you. So reading the actions, reading the energy, reading the other person, being seen fully and seeing someone else fully, coming from an open heart space. This wreath is a victory in love, this is a huge blessing. It's like sharing your life, sharing everything with the person that is genuine, compassion, partnerships, honest communication, words that are coming from a genuine feeling of love. It's the real thing that you're expressing, not made up, non-performative. It's non-judgmental. I feel that, for some of you, this is like, expressing your love to the person you love, genuinely love. And you know that this is genuine love. With the Eight of Wands, it's like forward movement in that area, whether you're expressing it to the person that you are with, or deepening the connection that you are with, or moving towards a new connection that you genuinely feel love for. It's like a connection that makes you want to live life to the fullest, being fully present in the moment. So I feel there's a lot of connection, lot of trust, lot of love, and you've been holding it for long, and it has been building for a long time. This love has been building, and now there is forward momentum. So you're expressing, you're moving forward, you know where to go, you know the destination, you know the person you want to live the life with. And it's the love. It's the love that can be felt in every action that you do, in every moment that you spend together. I'm getting like all of me loves all of you kind of an energy. That sound is coming to me. For some of you, that could be your guru song. You might be listening to some melodies, romantic melodies as well, but I feel that you're fully present, no, without any worries. You know that the person got you and you got the other person. So you understand each other to the core. You speak each other's love language. Some of you might be moving into homes where you want to build a life together. You want to invest in something together. You might be opening a business together for some of you. This could be even genuine connections. For those that is not a romantic energy, it could be that you're partnering up with people that, really matter to you, that you love. It could be like a love of, maybe you partnering up with the person you feel strongly connected with. It's like, yeah, this is the person I want to work with. This is the person I want to create a business or a life with. This could be a partnership in anything. Could be in business, could be at work. The team that you want to partner up with, the team that works together, that has each other's back, that understands each other's working patterns. It could be that. It could be partnership in anything. It could be also, it's like maybe you're making a film together if you're in the arts, or maybe you're creating an exhibition together, or maybe it's in sports, you're creating partnerships. This is a team that really resonates with you, that understands every word you say, that cooperates with you, So the team that you want to spend time with, that you want to spend practicing time with, some team that lives you, motivates you, a group that motivates you. It could be a group that motivates you. It could be anything. It's like, the genuine warmth you feel in being present with that team, with that group, or, somebody that holds space for you, somebody that understands you, somebody that, makes you feel that life is worth the living. It's a genuine connection that, So I feel the earphones is like, yeah, you understood that this is the person you want to be with. This is the team you want to be with, no doubts in your mind, and you're moving forward with that. Now, professionally, you could be either like, teaming up with people and moving towards jobs or projects that are really dear to you. It could be for the love of community, for the love of each other, for the love of sports, for the love of passion, for the love of community. It could be anything, a project that is dear to you and you're working with the team that you love. It could be that as well. But I feel that this is like, you understand that when the right people come together, you create things that cannot be created when there is friction, when there is tension, So it's that kind of an energy, like everything clicks together in place and you're working towards things or building things, communities, lifestyle, family, homes that truly, genuinely matter from the heart space. So this is great energy, Pisces, because here, that's why whenever you do anything, you will feel effortless because the people understand you. They understand where you're coming from. They're supportive of you. They understand you from inside out, at the soul level, at the core level. There's a recognition, there is a trust, there is an understanding. And there is just simply effortless coexisting, no judgments, just support, just motivation, just good love, just good energy. So that's the real thing. That's the actual thing that you're heading towards, and there is forward momentum in this. And the last card for today, Pisces, you have is a message from Cosmos, and it says, love appears. Further, it says, I renounce my pain and release my resistance. Today, I choose to reside in the light of my being. I rise up boldly and ask for the understanding that will free me of my duality. My prayers are heard and God sends angelic help so that love and peace find their way to me. When I open my eyes, love appears. So yeah, you have been working towards it. You have been praying for the light. You have been praying to the universe to show you the light, to answer your prayers, to answer your questions, so that you have no doubts. I feel that Eight of Wands is the forward movement because now you have no doubts. All the doubts, questions are being cleared, are being answered. You have good understanding of where you're moving, why you're moving. The Seven of Cups was like this way, that way. On the Piscean sign, it's a mutable water sign. So there is duality in that, moving in opposite directions. But you've reconciled that. You have reconciled all doubts, all questions about your future direction. You know where to head forward. Your prayers are being answered. You probably asked for hints, which is your direction, and the universe has aligned you with it. Your angels are at work. They have sent you resources, messages, that helped you find the answers to your questions. And now that you have chosen a path, that's the one that you will find the maximum love, maximum peace, and full alignment with your heart, body, mind, and soul. So it's like a dream come true for you right now, Pisces, because it says, when I open my eyes, love appears. Yeah, when you open your eyes, when you see around you, you find yourself in a situation which was meant for you, which is fully aligned for your soul's path. So great energy here, Pisces. Those were your messages, and hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.